Did you know that if you roll a minecart over some crops, it looks like the crops are coming up from the minecart? And that is just one of 31 build hacks that I prepared for you guys. And some of these are actually really useful, so sit down and let's get started. Trick number 1. Did you know that if you place a scaffolding, barrel and a tripwire hook, it looks like a cask full of drinks that you can put in your living room or whatever room you like. Trick number 2. If you place a chain, then a flower pot, then a flowering azalea or any other bush, you get these super cool hanging bushes that looks really cool. You can also use normal chains, but I like the copper ones better. Tip number 3. Did you know that if you place 2 lightning rods, then a brick wall and then a lightning rod on top, and then 1 candle on each of the lightning rods, you get this super cool stack of lights that look really cool as a decoration. Plus they add light, so they actually like have a function. Trick number 4. Did you know that if you add an azalea bush or a flowering azalea, if you add moss or on the flowering azalea you add flowering azalea, you get these super cool tall trees, and you can make these as tall as you like, but maybe this is a little too tall. Trick number 5. Did you know that if you take a pumpkin and then add a sea pickle on top, you get a way more realistic and 3D pumpkin? Here is an example of how they can look. Very good, right? I know, they're great. In the last update, Mojang added these leaves that just randomly spawn around in the forest. But what you may not know is that if you place them the right way, they can actually make a really cool pattern on the floor or on a carpet. So if we have a carpet like this, we can place it like this so that it goes along the edges. And bam! Look at this. We have a super cool creative carpet that you won't find anywhere else. Perfect for the living room. Trick number 7. So in Minecraft, there are a bunch of functional blocks that mainly are just used for storage or sometimes for decoration. What you may not know is that these blocks also have very cool patterns that can be used for other things than just their intended use. For example, this chiseled bookshelf has this like very cool like square design. The barrel has more of like a rough wood. The beehive has a little bit more of like a clean color. Same goes for all these other tables. They all have very cool designs. Tip number 8. Did you know that if you place a pot, then you use a lever and point it down and then place a glass pane on top, you get the illusion of water running into the pot. It looks very cool, especially from a distance when you can't really see like the little gap. Trick number 9. As you may or may not know, I love these lightning rods. They look very cool. And one very cool use for them is actually if you place a few of them on top of each other like this, you then place a flower pot and you get these really cool tall flower pots. They look very cool. And you can even place them next to each other and get these like cool design. Tip number 10. So this isn't a really good example, but the thing is these candles are very cool because, you know, you can obviously just place candles on the floor, but what's so cool with candles is that if you place a block like this and then place a candle on top, you can then remove the block and the candle still stays in the air. And by placing these candles up in the air, you can get like a really cool vibe that can really levitate your builds. Get it? Levitate because they're flying? I'm gonna stop. Tip number 11. As you already know, I love the lightning rod. And another thing that I also love is Star Wars. And that's perfect because if you place a lightning rod and then place glass paints on top, it looks like an actual lightsaber. These are so cool. I love this. They may not be that practical in like a normal build, but come on. It looks so cool. I don't know why more people don't build this. It looks so cool. Tip number 12. Now you already saw this in the intro that if you roll a minecart on top of some crops, you get this really cool design. But the next tips, which is tips number 13, you can also do this with boats. By driving a boat on top of crops, you can get this really cool design. And the thing is, since boats are longer, you get this like really cool double design, which is really cool. And you can do this with all sorts of things. You can do this with bushes and other plants as well. So yeah, that's amazing.
Tips number 14.
By placing a lever and then adding a chain underneath, you can get this very cool like hanging design where it looks like the barrel is actually hanging from this like thing. And this is really good if you're trying to make like a crane. Trick number 15. By placing a chiseled terracotta and then adding banners around and then a dead coral on top, you get these really cool Christmas presents or just normal presents, depending on how you look at it. And you can use this if you're going to make a Christmas build or a birthday build, or you just want to give a gift to a friend. So yeah. Trick number 16. As you already probably know, if you have a campfire, you can add raw meat or vegetables on top of it to cook it. And this is very cool. What you may not know is that if you take take and stop the fire like this, the items will still stay on. And this works for a really cool decoration where you can like show off your food. And it's very cool and a very underrated feature that I don't see a lot of people using. So yeah. Trick number 17. If you add 2 wooden blocks and some signs and a lectern in between, you get this very cool table. And this is very cool because it actually serves a function as well. So yeah, that's amazing. Tip number 18. This isn't really a tips, but I have to say, the netherite block really looks like a cinnamon roll. And it's not a trick, but I just had to say it. It's very cool. Trick number 19. We already know that these hanging signs look really cool. I love them. What you may not know is that they also look very good as a fence. If you have a block on each side, you get this very cool like fence style. I love them. Before we keep going, remember to subscribe so you don't miss another video like this. Tip number 20. If you add a composter, then place a jungle trapdoor on top, and then place whatever plants you have accessible down, and you place it so it goes all the way up, but just enough so that it don't turn into bone meal. You get this very cool box of, I guess it's dirt or maybe soup or whatever. You just gotta remember to not left click on it, because then you'll it turns into bone meal. Tip number 21. If you have 4 iron bars like this and then you place an iron trapdoor like this, you get this very cool like cage design, and you can even use it to put animals in, like this poor rabbit that's stuck in this cage forever. They look very cool, both empty and with animals inside, so that's really great. Tip number 21. Tip number 21. By placing a bed inwards like this and then a banner on top, you get this very cool chair which you can sit in while you're looking out on your builds. And it looks perfect as a little throne for your castles or whatever you may be building. Tip 23. So we all know about normal bamboo and that they look really cool, but did you know that if you craft bamboo blocks and turn them into bamboo fences and you place them so that they don't connect with others, it looks like yellow bamboo, and it's very cool. It can be a very good thing to help spice up your bamboo design. You can have some yellow and some green as well. Tip number 24. Now this is kind of similar to the bush tip earlier. If you place a flower pot, then a dead bush, and then some leaves on top, you get these very cool plants that actually look like they're coming up from the flower pot. You can make a small version and a taller version, so yeah, that's great. Tip number 25. Did you know that if you place an obsidian, then an end crystal, you then put a piston right beside it, you can actually push the end crystal away, and you can push it far away and then remove the obsidian, so you just have a floating end crystal. Just make sure to not left click it, because then that happens. Tip number 26. Did you know that if you add 2 grindstones like this next to each other, they look like wheels, and you can use this to make like a trolley or a cart or a train or whatever, and they connect really good and it looks perfect. Tip number 27. This is kind of an upgraded version of the tips earlier, because if you have a campfire like this and then you add some vegetables inside and then you add signs and some item frames around, it looks like a little box with some food inside, and it's perfect if you're gonna build a little picnic. Tip number 28. Did you know that if you add a torch on the wall and then an item frame and then an iron trapdoor, it actually looks like the torch is actually hanging on the wall and it's not just floating there, it actually like it's hanging. So yeah, that's cool. Trick number 29. So leather gear for the most part is kind of useless, but one cool feature that leather gear has is the ability to change colors. So if you put leather armor in here and then you put dye in, you can switch the color, and you can do this as many times as you want and get as many colors as you want, and there's like an infinite amount of colors you can make, and you can even make like a gradient armor set, which looks so cool. So yeah, look at this. This is amazing. Tip number 30. If you put 4 trapdoors around a basalt block, it looks like cannonballs that's lying in like a box, or maybe just some rocks. It looks cool nevertheless and can be a very cool design, for example for a cannon or for like a mining area or whatever. And finally, tip number 31. If you add a granite wall, a stripped jungle log, 2 brown candles, a jungle slab, and some glow thingies in the back, it looks like a snail that's slowly rolling around, and this is probably the best build hack of them all. That was all the tips. Hope some of them at least were useful. If you have some other tips that I didn't mention in this video, comment that down below. And yeah, remember to like, subscribe, and comment, and I'll see you next time. Bye!